Hello, and welcome to Miss of Time Emporium. I'm Joni, and I'm so glad to see you today, or that you're with us here today. It's lovely to have you, and we'll be walking through the collector's edition of the Witch deck. So this is a deck that Ashley and I both backed on Kickstarter, and we've been waiting for this beautiful deck. We love the work of Angi Sullins. This deck was created with her partner, Silas Toball, but she's also done, and these are all, I think this is going to be released later by U.S. Games. She's done a couple of decks with U.S. Games, Love Who You Are. She did this deck with her partner as well. It's a U.S. Games deck. And then the Wild Woman Rising deck, which she did with Gina della Grottaglia. And again, U.S. Games. So this has only been released on Kickstarter to date. And again, this is the collector's edition. So it did say that, let's see, I think we got an artist signed card with our deck. The collector's edition is limited to 1,750 copies and contains 4 exclusive cards not available anywhere else. So this was dedicated to the Kickstarter backers. It says a witch is a woman in total control of herself. She has shifted her alliance from pleasing to pleasure, from subservient to subversive, through the very act of claiming her inner knowing as her highest authority. She's willing to abandon everyone else's expectations before she'll abandon herself. And so it is. It comes with this, or this collector's edition came with this very thick, beautiful poetry and keywords, and on the back it says, they have tried to burn you with their shame, strip you, violate you, shrink you, silence you, but they could not break your phoenix spirit. Its fierce heat will melt old regimes and inflame a generation who will not settle for smallness, for submission, for shame. Sink yourself into the feathered red sleeve of your ancestors and rise, woman. Rise again, for you are Persephone's daughter, Lilith's lover, Eve's heir. Find the truth, eat the fruit, unmask the myth, let it burn. And that is the spirit of this book. So they're absolutely gorgeous images. Again, it's definitions for the cards. It's poetry in between the definitions. It's a full color. I mean, this is a little art book in and of itself. Absolutely gorgeous. I've just sat and read this book just because it's a beautiful read. And so now let's take a look at the box, because the box changed over the course of the Kickstarter campaign, and this box is so beautiful. And I don't know if you can catch it, but these little stars are copper and gold shimmer. And it's just so pretty, this box. And it's got the foiled dragon on the side. And then there's a beautiful poem inside the box. And then a beautiful image in the bottom of the box. This is one of the cards. So everything about this deck, she has made no qualms about saying that this is the deck that she's wanted to create. And so it's gorgeous. It's got gold foil edges. It's a glossy stock. The backs are beautiful. Dragons. So fully reversible. And this, I love the size of these cards. They're a great size. And so we're going to flip through the deck now and look at these gorgeous, incredible images. And I'll go through a little more slowly than I usually do. This is one of my favorites, Spider-Woman. The Phoenix. The Selkie. She just included all of the powerful feminine imagery of these witches, these goddesses, these expressions of the divine feminine. Again, not excluding anyone at all, but just showing these as representations of archetypes and that kind of thing. Also, the stock is perfect. It's not too thin and not too thick. The Creatrix of Cunning. Every image is as gorgeous as the last and the next. At the end, we'll pull a card so you can get an idea of the booklet. I love the feeling of antiquity and also kind of the contemporary feeling of the cards. It's both ancient and current. Sorry about that. The Divine Masculine. Love the Lion Queen. Very reminiscent of the Strength card. This is how I envision myself. We'll put a link below to Angi's website. She did have some decks that were for sale. I don't know if they've been sold out. I don't know how many copies are left, but again, it just looks like this will be a later release through US Games. I don't know that for sure, but they do collaborate. The Priestess of Priorities. I love the Priestess of Original Innocence. And the Devouring Mother. Failure's Muse. The Siren of Surrender. Again, this deck is gorgeous. It's meaningful. It's well created. Another of my favorite images. The Medicine Woman. The Harpy of Rage. Weaver of the Red Tent. So many of these images represent old goddess animal allies and shapeshifters and those kinds of things. There's a lot of mythology in this deck, a lot of old goddess worship in this deck. That's a very interesting card, is it not? Beautiful triple goddess. Dragon Rider. Madonna of Self-Compassion. So a beautiful deck. So those last 4 are the extra cards that come with this collector's edition. So these 4 cards, I would imagine, are kind of exclusive. So it's probably, when it's mass produced, it's going to be probably a standard 44 card deck. So again, these are exclusive to this release of the deck. Or they may replace some other cards in the deck. Too early to tell. So let's actually just do a couple shuffles and then pull a card and see what it says. We'll do a triple goddess shuffle, just to clear the cards of any previous. These are unused. I have not yet shuffled them. Okay, so let's pick this card. The Goddess of Grace, number 30. So I believe at the front, yes, there's an index. So 30 is actually on page 149. Goddess of Grace. The Goddess of Grace is a benign ruler whose principal gift is kindness. Rather than doling out judgment or punishment when one of her people commits a crime or transgresses against another, she encourages her people to gather around the lotus fire. The offender is brought to the fire, and there all members of the community name every good deed and kindness the offender has ever performed since childhood. In this way, the wayward soul is brought home to herself and her community rather than ostracized through retribution or shame. Gorgeous. Thank you for joining me here today. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and commenting on our videos. We very much appreciate it. We love doing this, and we'll continue to do so. So until the next time, bye for now.